Tonight, the redistricting battle is heating up. Gavin Newsom, he announced that he's looking to add his effort to redraw California's congressional map to the ballot as a ballot measure this November. Now, it won't be easy. He needs 2/3 of both chambers in the state legislature to approve a ballot proposition, and that is before Californians get to vote on it. A coalition that includes Arnold Schwarzenegger to oppose any kind of redistricting efforts is already starting to form. In his pitch, Newsom explained why the "when they go low, we go high" motto does not work anymore.
It's not good enough to just hold hands, have a candlelight vigil, and talk about the way the world should be. We have got to recognize the cards that have been dealt. And we have got to meet fire with fire. It's not complicated. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, "Find me 5 seats." We're doing it in reaction to that act. They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides because they know what Donald Trump knows.
Gavin versus Arnold. Let me read you what Schwarzenegger said. He says he calls gerrymandering evil, and he means that. He thinks it's truly evil for politicians to take power from people. That's what a Schwarzenegger spokesperson said that he feels. He is opposed to what Texas is doing, and he's opposed to the idea that California would race to the bottom to do the same thing. Can't say he's wrong about that in theory, but in practice.
But when you're from the state of New York, this is a big nothing burger. They do this all the time. They do it after every census. It's I mean, as I told you the other night, I mean, like, there's 8+ million people in the city of New York. There's one Republican, Maliotakis in Staten Island. So it's maybe the timing is a little different, and it's going to be, he's got an uphill battle, presidential candidate Newsom, because he's got to get the chamber and then they can put it on the ballot. But it's been going on in the United States of America forever. I mean, this is nothing new.
Tiffany?
Well, I mean, gerrymandering certainly isn't illegal, but racial gerrymandering certainly is. And I think that's what you see happening, particularly in the Bible Belt. But even with Representative Emanuel Cleaver, his district is also in danger. I think we're seeing the impact of completely gutting Section 3 and Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act. And there was a reason why those pre-clearances were in place before they could do things like this. But even that would have even surpassed gerrymandering would have gotten through that. The Supreme Court has kind of cleared the path that not only will we see a shift because the president has saddled his party with these very unpopular policies, and he's looking at a very unfriendly midterm. So not only will you see a shift in Democratic voters, but you will see a whitening of Congress. And I think that is their intention.
Newsom is right to fight fire with fire, or
yes.
is he wrong to race to the bottom?
Absolutely, he's right. I mean, I never supported that when they go low, we go high. Though I love forever FLOTUS, but no, I don't think that works. I think it's painful to watch, certain people fight from a playbook circa 2015 when that is thrown out. It's thrown out the window. So I think for the people at home who don't have power, who don't have a voice, they don't want to see polite chit chat. They don't want to see this. There's no longer an exchange, a healthy exchange of ideas and ideology. There is only a war on people's humanity. It feels like.
It feels like Democrats are finally fighting for us, right? And Democrats are using politics right now to fight for people, whereas the Republican Party is using politics to enrich themselves and to prop up Donald Trump. So for me, this is a major issue. In Tennessee, I don't know if you know, but we have a congressional district that was cut into 3. Tennessee Democrats pulled in 38% of the congressional vote. Guess how many congressional districts we have? 1.
Wow.
To dilute black and brown power.
Aren't you running for Congress?
I am running for one of those seats.
Okay.
But
and you're the only woman running.
I am the only woman running, yes. Yeah. But for me,
it's your campaign manager?
Yeah,
no, I couldn't remember if she mentioned it at all, but I think that's something relevant.
Yes.
We talk about norms and it gets boring and tiresome, but really, this is 2025. We shouldn't be redistricting. And the reason we are is because they want to game the system, and it will be a race to the bottom. Gerrymandering stinks, right? It does work to disadvantage and disenfranchise people even. And this is the doing of Trump, really. He demanded that Texas do this. Well, if Texas is going to do it in 2025, and at the end of the day, I actually think the Democrats are on the short end of the stick because the Republicans can redistrict more districts Republican if they really want to go all the way.
And he's calling for a new census, which is very scary. The way that he wants
Well,
to follow
they have always wanted to change the census so that it does not count non-citizens. So that's definitely coming. I mean, prepare yourselves.
Despite the constitutional command.
Despite the
Right.
fact that it's in the Constitution. Last word.
I support that, obviously. Last word is just the 4 districts, 4 of the 5 districts Donald Trump is trying to create in Texas are majority Hispanic. So they're not actually white. It's the GOP betting on Hispanic voters. And it's amazing to me that Democrats aren't just like, you're never going to get these voters again. We're going to win these voters back. Have them, have at them, create the districts. We'll win them back. It's almost like the Democrats are ceding to Trump that these are now his
Well,
voters.
I'm not a
and I find
Democrat,
that
but
amazing.
they're doing
We
that
gotta
in
leave it
Texas
there.
because those voters are
Everyone,
friendly to the
Thank you
Republican
very
Party.
much for joining us, Laura.